1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Michelle was no, because Jeannie told me like 4 different stories that because her daughter won for next year's sophomore class, and she's run every year since like 7th grade with all the businesses, and she still was the vet anyway, and she's like she's in a good place, and she's like I know it's just fine, what I can do, and she won, and so she's very excited. So that's where she's going for the soul. Yeah, so I'm getting names mixed up. I want to say Joy.
Looks like a new future of office.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen it? Maybe you're not getting enough congratulations.
I guess.
Emails.
Yeah, I
We're
guess
sending
I'm
enough.
not. Wow.
When you get like it's like
Yeah.
the big convention.
Board members all set? All right. I'd like to call to order the May 28th, 2019 budget hearing for the State College Area School District Board of Directors. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to welcome those of you who are here this evening as well as those viewing from home. Dr. O'Donnell, I'll turn it over to you then.
Thank you, Mrs. Concepcion. This hearing culminates our budget development cycle prior to the... Oh, thank you. The hearing here culminates our budget development cycle prior to the final action requested of the board set for Monday, June 3rd. Our budget proposal totals $163 million and includes a 1.95% real estate tax increase. Percentage-wise, that's tied for the third lowest increase for the district since Act 1 was created in 2006. The budget focuses primarily on instructional services to our students, and to do so, salaries and benefits represent 72% of the total expenses in the budget, with the employer portion of the healthcare costs being a significant driver. The budget development process has included detailed analysis of several curricular and operational areas in our district. This work has provided an understanding to the board and the community of the budget process. So to recap our work to date, we have our finance team here with Randy Brown, Donna Watson, and Donna Reinhart, and we appreciate their work throughout the process with our board finance committee and full board as well. So I'll turn it over to them and move the hearing along. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. O'Donnell. We've gone through much of this information. It has not changed significantly from our most recent discussions and presentations. We do have a couple points that I think that we should highlight. First of all, Our general fund budget does contain expenses related to the general operations of the district that supports other funds such as debt service, capital reserve, and food service, and the general fund budget approval is required by June 30th. I can't. The budget approval process, we first started reviewing and preparing back in September, but your first step, action step was an accelerated opt-out resolution on January 21st, and then a proposed final budget on April 29th, and then tonight is the budget hearing, and then next Monday would be the final budget for adoption. Act 1 of 2006 is summarized here for you, and it provides for tax relief approved for homestead farmsteads. In our district, that means about $109 per homestead property, and this year the district will receive about $1.4 million of gambling funds for that taxpayer relief. Act 1 also creates a limit of school district tax increases to an inflationary index. Act 1 index for 1920 is 2.3%, and our tax rate increase at 1.95 is obviously less than that, so we're within that index. We have not applied for exceptions at this point in time and do not plan to. Obviously, we do have referendum debt of approximately incurred of approximately $85 million for the State High project, and in 2 years, in 15-16 and in 16-17, we did take exceptions for the referendum that was a successful election in the district in 2014. Slide 8 shows a summary of our fund balance activity. We started with 12.7 million. We're showing revenue of 163 million, expense of 163 million, and then use of assigned fund balance for PSERS, taking us down to an ending unassigned fund balance of 12.9 million. Proposed tax increase, our millage rate for 2018-19 was 45.206. 1.95 proposed increase will take the millage to 46.0875. And this is the third lowest increase since 2006-07, when the index was created. Slide 10 is showing average taxpayer increase impact. And you can see with a minimum, a maximum, and then the percentiles in between, as well as the median, what the dollar value in 17-18, 18-19, and then the proposed 19-20 has for our various taxpayers. And this is assuming a residential average tax assessed value of $72,873. The slide shows real estate tax increase versus the Act 1 index. Our increase, is in blue, and you can see that since 2006, when Act 1 went into place, there are, I believe, 5 years when we were above the Act 1 index and we took exceptions. After that, or other than that, we've been within the index or at it. Several years ago, the board instituted a supplemental property tax rebate program. We've been setting aside $100,000 for the last several years to offset this program or fund this program. The maximum rebate is $650. Applications are due July 1st. In 15, 16, in the 3 most recently completed years, we've provided rebates in the amount of total of $77,000, $82,000, and $88,000. In the current year, we're tracking to have about the same amount of $88,000. So we should be within that $100,000 budget. Revenue comes in 3 categories: local, state, and federal. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. We are primarily district funded, locally funded, at $131 million, or 80%. State is 19%, and federal is 1%. 75% of our local revenue comes from real estate, 14% earned income tax, and then the others is from various other sources. State revenue, we receive more state revenue from the reimbursement of PSERS and FICA, 48% of our total state budget, than we do in basic education subsidy of 26%. We also receive a nice 11% of our budget, state budget, from special education subsidy. Then if we look at our expenses by object, which is salaries, benefits, services, supplies, et cetera, you can see that 44% is salaries, 28% is benefits, so 72% of our budget is salaries and benefits. We are a service organization. PDE classifies some of our expenses by function. 57% is instructional services, 29% is support services, and then there's also the capital and non-instructional services and contingency. This chart you've seen before. I don't believe that it's changed since the last time you've seen it. This is called our expense matrix by function and object, it just allows us to break down our types of expenses both by function and object, so that you can get a clear understanding of how we're spending our money. Proposed additions this year, obviously there's special education teacher, there's elementary teachers, psychological services, there's another secondary teacher, elementary music instruction, gifted support, assistant athletic director becoming full-time, curriculum and assessment, custodial and auditorium support staff persons, and then non-recurring of marching band uniforms, fitness center, and grand piano. PSERS, we do expect that to increase by another $1.5 million. Percentage is going up to 34.29%. And this is consistent with the PSERS projections that we continue to receive. And again, the board did not elect to utilize exceptions for PSERS that would be available. Fund balance, we are planning to use assigned fund balance of $659,000 this year, but we are also projecting in addition to capital reserve fund of $1.8 million. There will be a draw from the capital reserve fund of $3.4 million for elementary project debt service. The projected unassigned fund balance is $12.9 million, and that is at 7.9% of operating expenses, which is within the allowed limit of 8%. This slide shows some indicators of financial health that our rating agencies typically look at. We are referencing here Moody's because they give us the highest rating, and this is showing you how we rate in 17-18 actuals, and then in the budget year of 19-20, and then compares that to rating agencies for categorizations for our AAA, AA, and single A rankings of school districts. State budget, we still wait to hear news on that. We have not heard a final state budget yet, obviously, that will be required to be passed by June 30, but obviously we're seeking to pass our budget prior to that. There is a potential for reopening the district budget after the state budget is passed. And all of these handouts and presentations are obviously attached to your agenda, as well as are available at this link provided in the presentation. And you should also have been made available to you the final budget summary, which is again on the website, and we've shared in committee and prior board meetings. It has lots of valuable information. I'd like to publicly thank Donna, and the rest of our finance team. We could not do the volume of analysis and data collection without such an excellent team, and I'm very pleased to have them working with me. This year we have done a lot of significant analysis in several very important areas in our district, budget, and we'll continue to look for other areas, as well as continue to seeing how the general operating budget fits into and funds our capital plan, which we'll continue to be working on with you. Any questions?
Questions? Lori?
Just a point of clarification on, when you were talking about the rebate program, what you said was that they would be due July 1st, but the applications,
Start July 1st.
they begin, right?
Yes,
So,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
just for clarification. Yep.
Thank you.
I think, yeah. Oh, sorry, Jim.
No, I really appreciate slide 21, the proposed additions and the justifications. I think, this is a great thing that we're doing, and we should do this every year, just to show people what the reason for the differences are. So that's an excellent slide.
Yeah, very
And
clear.
then tying it to our strategic plan is a great move.
Okay. Over here, Gretchen?
I was just wondering about thank you so much for all of it, especially what Jim said, that one for additions is really good for explanations. And then thank you also for including the amount that has been, actually utilized from that 100,000 for the supplemental property tax rebate program. I think you gave for 5 years. And, so it's good it's gone up, because that means more people are learning about it, I would guess, which is a good thing.
Correct.
I mean, we're still not utilizing all of it.
Correct.
And so I saw that a notification is sent with the bill. So does that mean that everybody gets that automatically?
That, yes, that we include the application with the real estate tax bills. So if someone wasn't aware of that, hopefully, and I think we printed it on yellow paper here last year to try to draw attention to it.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I guess, I don't know, I was just thinking, I don't know what more we can do.
We do get new applicants every year, so that's good to see. So I do think the word is out, certainly. Hopefully, getting it in the real estate tax bill each year will bring in more and more.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
I do have another question on the same topic. So the individuals who have applied for ours have already been accepted by the state, is that correct? Or so it might be helpful to get a sense of those who are most needy in our district, in that sense, what percentage of their property taxes are then being abated, so that we have a realistic understanding of the impact that this is making.
So we could prepare something for those who apply. Is that what you're referring to? So for those that apply for the rebate, we could calculate what percentage this rebate is of their property taxes, of their state college property taxes.
Yeah, not necessarily right away, but maybe going into
Right.
next year as we're looking at our budget.
We could, when we get, when we get to the end of the year, we can take the most recent year and do that calculation. Okay, sure. Yeah, we can do that.
I think it would be helpful.
It'd be useful.
Yeah, to be able to communicate to the community as well, the impact of this program. And maybe if we could look at if we could have the state and the local rebate percentage.
Okay.
Because
yes.
if everyone who's getting the local is also getting the state
Yes,
rebate.
and the state rebate, if you look right now, it tells you that the deadline to apply for that is June 30th. So we always kind of hold our breath because they've extended it each year to December, but they don't do that till about the middle of June. So we don't want to send those forms out and have them think they missed that opportunity if that's, so, but that's, yes. And state then has an additional rebate if someone's real estate taxes are a certain percentage of their income or some, so there is an additional amount.
Okay.
So a lot of times we'll see, rather than 650, you'll see someone with 900 and some, because they have that additional rebate on top of that. But, so we'll do some calculations segregating those components so you can see that.
That would be great. Thank you. Questions in general?
Do you have any update of late in regard to the status of the state's budget planning?
I don't.
Okay. I didn't know if PASBO or anybody's put
Yeah,
any.
it's been very, very quiet. I know there's things going on, but there's not been a good update yet.
Dan?
Donna, that was really helpful, the description you offered of the way in which Harrisburg manages the same type of rebate program. Is that through the this is just a passing, this is important, but it's still just a point of curiosity. Which department in Harrisburg, in the government, deals, is that the Department of Revenue? who
I'm
does-
quite sure, yes, yes.
It's revenue.
Mhm.
So it's based on the state and local property taxes. As far as Harrisburg's concerned, they'll offer a supplemental rebate in addition to ours, which is made available through
Well,
this village.
so applicants who apply for the district's rebate must first qualify for the state's rebate program. And then the state's rebate program has an additional add-on dependent on a certain percentage. The state's program also includes rental properties, but
And ours is owner.
I wasn't aware of that the state I knew we relied on their formula to make decisions about beneficiaries or whatever, but people benefit from this, but in qualification for this. I didn't realize that there was also a state program that was coexisting with this.
Okay. Any other questions?
Just a comment?
Yeah.
I just also want to thank you all and to let the community know that we have had a number of work sessions on this budget put together and led by you all to help us understand different components of the budget, different line items of the budget. And so, I just want to stress that this process has been long in the works, and to thank you for your patience and your attention to detail for our benefit of understanding what we're looking at here tonight. So, thank you.
Agreed. Any other? Okay. Okay, so with that, we have opportunity for public comment. If no one is here to make a public comment, I will be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, that's been moved and seconded. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We are adjourned.